Welcome to the Construction Tech Podcast, where we talk with industry leaders and discover the latest technology within their business. Whether you're a director of sales or a graduate looking to get into the industry, make sure you tune in and enjoy the episode. But before we get into it, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and comment to add to your own views. The Construction Tech Podcast is brought to you by Laura Jane Recruitment. We hope you enjoy the episode.
So welcome to today's Construction Tech Podcast, where we will be speaking with SoftwareOne. I would like to welcome Tim Parsons, who is the UK sales lead for SoftwareOne. So welcome, Tim. So tell us more about SoftwareOne and what you do there.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Laura. So SoftwareOne is a 3,000 strong company across the globe that kind of specializes really in taking organizations to the cloud. So we have clients including Microsoft, Sony, Airbus, etc., etc., etc. We originally started off just by selling kind of Microsoft licenses, and since then we've grown into kind of a number of different kind of ways of looking and doing things. Okay. Early last year, SoftwareOne started a strategic partnership with RIB Software to really sell the M2 platform, which is RIB's kind of next generation version of i2, which is really an enterprise level solution designed to run across all construction businesses, be it contractors or really developers, and help them digitalize what they do to create far greater efficiencies in their processes, really.
Fantastic. And so your role there obviously is the UK sales leader. Obviously you run your own team. How big's your team at the moment, and what does that sort of compromise of? What kind of talent do you have in there?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we've got a team of 10 here in the UK. So I lead the group of 10 here. So that's split into sales and consulting. So we have a 3+1 in sales. So when I say 3+1, it's myself plus 2 BDMs, and we're supported by an inside sales rep as well at the same time. Then we have 6 consultants headed up by a chap called Andy Radley, who's ex-head of BIM, a number of the very high level kind of contractors. And all the other consultants within the team of Andy, they have their own specialisms, because the M2 platform is so broad, it can do so much capability. We've got our experts from industry who have the capability to fit with the parts of the platform. So we have Gavin, who's got 20+ years as a QS. We have Ivan, who's 8+ years as an estimator. We have another chap who's got 7-8 years at Morgan Sindall in scheduling. So we've got a very broad range of experiences to fit where the platform sits.
Definitely a very broad range of experience there, definitely. And so yourself, I mean, obviously, where did you start your career and how have you got to become the sales leader of SoftwareOne?
Yeah, good question. So going back, God knows how many years now, I was actually living in Singapore. I was looking around for a new role. I always kind of stumbled across software sales for construction industry. So chatting to a rugby friend, he knew an organisation who was looking for somebody, and that organisation was Conject. So for those of you who don't know, Conject was like an Anglo-German common data environment provider. Very successful here in the UK and Germany. They were known as BIW, so people still refer to BIW these days. I got taken on really as their man in Asia. So the incumbent was looking to move back to Europe. So I came on board with them, and I was basically running around Asia. So mostly focused on Malaysia, Singapore and Thailand. Had a small team of 3-4 of us to run the region over there. So myself in sales and a couple of consultants. For about 2 years after I joined Conject, we then got acquired by a main competitor, which was Aconex. So I then joined the Aconex team over there, and I was basically in charge of, if I can get this right, sales in Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, Philippines, and Burma.
Oh,
that's
wow.
the 7, so I got it right. So it was a fantastic role, really enjoyed it. Aconex was a superb company to work for. And my typical work week was Monday, Tuesday in Singapore, fly somewhere, meetings Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, fly back Friday night. It'd be like Bangkok one week, Manila the next week, somewhere else the following week, then back to Bangkok, then back to Manila. And it was a great time and I really enjoyed it, building up the businesses in a lot of those kind of areas, building partnerships with key partners, winning quite a lot of really interesting projects that are going on over there. Everything from water treatment works in Manila to casinos in Philippines as well, to train lines in Bangkok. So really, really good. But with myself and my wife been in Singapore for quite some time. We wanted to come back to the UK. A lot of people question why, but we had our kind of our reasons for countryside and seasons and things like that. So we moved back, and that coincided almost to the day with Aconex being acquired by Oracle. So in the space of just over 2 years, I'd gone from being a project company of 250 people to a company of 138,000 people. So quite a broad change. So I was with Oracle for a while, and decided it wasn't perhaps the right place wasn't the same company that I joined, or then kind of started with Aconex, and I decided to move on from there. I moved on to a company called FSI. So they're an FM provider, so their main solutions, Concept Evolution, headquartered out in Basildon, Essex. Really nice group of people, good solution, very well known, very well respected. And I joined them in a sales role. I was there for about 16 months. Really good group of people. And to be honest, wasn't really looking to move on. But SoftwareOne and RIB came calling, and the project sounded so fascinating in terms of developing this amazing platform that we have across enterprises, does so much 5D, AI, BI, all these kind of things, and to build the team over here. And that was not too good to be true. So I joined the team in April last year, and yeah, been running it so far. So far so good.
Well, I mean, with the background that you've got, and obviously the culture that you've obviously worked in a completely different culture as well. So working in Asia, you have a completely different culture out there. So I guess being the UK sales lead in the UK, you're able to bring different types of culture into your business as well. So you're not just looking at one culture, you're looking at a number of different cultures and bringing that sort of diversity into your team as well, I'm guessing. Yeah,
it was a great experience being out there. Going across all those organizations, those countries, you're dealing with locals as well as expats. You get to hear quite a different range of experiences, and you get to have a great knowledge. It was boots on the ground, speaking to all sorts of people, from owners of multi-generational companies in Philippines, for example, through to the boots on the ground type people at the airport in Singapore, for example. So very different, broad range of people I was speaking to. Fantastic job. And obviously, I've now worked not only in the kind of design and build phase with my experience at Conject and Aconex, but also seen it from the other side of point of view in the FM world. Because obviously, when you're building a project, and we'll talk about building projects, 20% of the costs in building the project, 80% of the costs in running it. So I've been able to see it from both sides of the coin in terms of how the data gets collated around BIM and everything else, and then gets used in the FM world.
No, definitely. So, I mean, on that side of culture, what is it that you look for in your team members, for your team? Obviously, your team at the minute have got a lot of experience, people that are wanting to come and work for SoftwareOne. What is it that you look for with regards to those team members that want to join you?
Yeah, great question. So, we are in effect a well-funded startup. So the whole M2 project for SoftwareOne, it started January last year. So this time last year, it started with 0 employees. We now have 200 of us spread across 20 countries. So It's been a massive growth plan. But we are still a startup. There's 10 of us in the UK. We're on this growth path, getting out there. So we're looking for people who are not afraid to take a step slightly into the unknown, because we are on this great journey together. We need team players, people who can work together. We've all got our strengths, and we need to ensure that we can work with everybody to play off our strengths to give the best quality advice to clients. We want people who are truthful and honest as well, ultimately, at the end of the day. People we can work with. If we can't do something, we're going to put our hand up and admit to it. And that's not both just internally, that's to our clients as well. We want to be seen as true experts out there in the market. We've got a great depth of knowledge and experience, but we want to be able to turn around and say, if we can't do something, we can't do it. So I'm looking for openness, I'm looking for entrepreneurs, people who aren't afraid to get stuck in and take a bit of a risk, and team players, people we can work together as well at the same time and have fun.
Fantastic. And obviously within your sales team, are you looking for experience as well? Obviously, pure graduates are a different bundle, would be the best way of putting it.
Yeah, absolutely.
People that have got experience in the software world, we can sometimes find them, we can sometimes not find them. So I guess with regards to experience, would you look at the broader circle with regards to, I mean, if you were looking for a BDM, would you look at experience from a different sector, but within the software industry? Is it more sector driven than experience within software sales?
it's sector driven. We want somebody who can walk the walk and speak the language. It's M2 is a true enterprise kind of end-to-end solution. So when we're going out there, we typically speak with heads of or C-level type executives, and therefore we need people who can know what they're talking about and speak with a certain level of gravitas to them. So in that kind of terms, we're looking for people with minimum to 10, 15 years worth of experience who've got that depth of knowledge and understanding, and can use their past experience to help our clients on their journey forward into digitalization.
Fantastic. So obviously, thank you for joining me on the podcast. There's just a little bit more to go. We've got a 60-second quick fire question round for you. So, well, I say quick fire, it might not be. So what is the best lesson that you have learned being in the software industry?
Don't be afraid to go and speak to people. Ultimately, everyone's friendly, everyone's willing to sit down, have a coffee, and just chat about their experience and perhaps where you can develop and you can learn.
Fantastic. Who inspired you?
Who inspired me? Oh, that's a good question. I guess I take inspiration from lots of different places and lots of different people. To a certain extent, my father inspired me. He was an entrepreneur, a very successful person, and he's a good, solid role model, not for me, but also for my children to look up to.
Fantastic. So this is like the other end of it. What frustrates you?
What frustrates me? When people don't give straight answers, when people wishy-washy, or they don't commit to doing things they say they'll do.
Fantastic. And obviously we've been through a pandemic it's been 2 years now, hasn't it? So I guess, how do you keep mentally focused with regards to your role?
I like to go for runs at lunchtime. So I'm fortunate enough to live in the countryside. Obviously I'm sitting here at home today in my study, and if I don't get out during lunchtime, I go a bit stir crazy. So I'm fortunate to live in the countryside. There's some big hills near where I live, so I tend to go for a run kind of around there, and just kind of sit here with my shorts on and my shirt on in the afternoons, so I don't look too bad if I'm on Teams calls.
Fab. And I take it you work from home. Obviously with the pandemic, everybody's been working from home. Is there any point that you're in the office at all, or how much is your work remote to office based now?
We're pretty much remote the whole time, so the team's scattered all over the country. So we've got my team members are in Cumbria, they're in North Wales, they're in Norfolk. One chap's 20 minutes down the road from me here. There's a couple based around kind of London-y type way. So it's very rare kind of we actually get together. We have lots of Teams calls. I think that's one of the big transitions over the last 2 years is the use of Teams. And we've still got a great team ethos, despite really only having ever met face-to-face as a big group kind of once or twice. Very rarely in the office.
It seems to be the new norm, doesn't it? Teams or Zoom or something along those lines. It's definitely the new thing moving forward. So what would you say your management style is?
Look, I treat my team as professionals. I let them get on with it. I let them do their own things. I'm here not to micromanage and to look over their shoulder and make sure they're logged in at X time and log off at Y time. I just want them to get on to do their job and support them, make sure they've got the right tools, the right knowledge to be able to go away and do what they need to do. Of course, I need updates and reports on what they're doing so I can feed out the chain and vice versa. I just want to make sure I'm there to support them and treat them as professionals.
Fantastic. And so these are really random questions now. So who is your favourite band?
Favourite band? Again, random question back. I actually love punk rock, so I'm a big mountain biker as well. Punk rock influence, a band called Rise Against, from Chicago. They've got all the hardcore kind of metal-y type songs. They've also got some really nice kind of acoustic ones as well, which was one of their acoustic songs actually our first dance at my wedding.
Oh wow, fantastic. Another one, random, iPhone or Android? It's always a big question with people, isn't it?
Always iPhone, always iPhone.
Fantastic, me too. Car or motorbike?
Car. I'm a big petrol head as well, so I've got nice cars here, always cars.
Oh, what nice cars have you got? You've got to tell us now. You can't leave us hanging if you've got a load of nice cars.
I've got a bright red Porsche sitting outside at the moment. So yeah.
Fantastic. Ideal holiday, if you could go anywhere in the world?
Mountains in the summer. like either the Alps or Whistler. Take my mountain bike, go riding up there. We've been to the Alps a few times with my wife and kids, and they love it up there. There's loads of activities to do. It's just a beautiful place to be.
Fantastic. Are you an early bird or a night owl? That's also with work as well, because I think everybody's work's changed, hasn't it? So I mean, we're working all the time at the moment, but
definitely a night owl. It's a bit of a struggle to get out of bed in the morning. Up out of bed, orange juice, coffee, make sure the kids are in some way condition to go off to school. Then I'll crack on with work, but I'd much rather be a night owl.
Fantastic. And if you could have breakfast with one person, alive or dead, who would it be and why?
I think it'd be Ayrton Senna. I just found him to be a really fascinating character. You've got the Prost versus Senna debate. He was so driven, so focused, but too much for charity as well. I'm intrigued by him. So yeah, probably Ayrton Senna.
Yeah, no, GP is GP all the way. All the way, Tim. Well, thank you for your time on this podcast today. And, hopefully we'll hear from you again soon with regards to SoftwareOne.
Pleasure. Thanks for your time, Laura.
Thank you.
Hit the like and subscribe and add your comments below. This podcast is brought to you by Laura Jane Recruitment. Get in touch with Laura Olsen if you are looking for a new role or to add to your talent team.